forgot. I didn't know you were there. I was looking around. There's a little waterfall. It's going to be a great place to go swimming. It's a little cold right now. Listen, the rocks, they're just so interesting. The great value in observation. Often we're not taught or instructed to observe. It's, you might observe something. Oh, well, you don't know anything. Or, oh, that's not it. Or, that's not true. Or, oh, and it throws us off track. And the value in observing is that it helps you know the difference between truth and lies, between what's real and a fabrication. Also, in observing, you can notice patterns, and you can notice changes in patterns. And you can notice how certain people have certain patterns, and then they start to change their pattern and do something else. So, it's when you observe, so much more is revealed to you because you're right there. And it's just like in looking at these rocks with the moss. It's so beautiful. Now, this is near Castle Craigs and Castle Lake and all that. So then I know all the moss. Now, when I climb on Mount Shasta, which is a volcano, none of the rocks have moss on them. None. And none of them have lichens on them, but the rocks here do. So there's a difference in the rocks, you see. And if say, like with children, I remember when my granddaughters were little people and little short people. And I was living up in Washington, and I had a retreat center up there in Washington State. And it was great, out in 115 acres, and had wonderful trails, and so the girls and I would go out there, and Erin would be about this tall, and Austin was about this tall, and I would go out and I'd say, okay, where's the house? And they go, well, I don't know. I said, well, hey, you just left there. How would you know how to get home if you don't observe where you are? And they go a little bit further, and I said, okay, now where's the house? And then and then you start to look at, well, which way's east? There's a lot of people. I would kind of call them adults, but the word adult means stupid person. So when you call yourself an adult, you mean just saying you're a stupid person. Very important to know what you're talking about, because that is creating that reality. So anyway, then it was because of when we start noticing, and so many people are not aware, they don't notice what's going on or what even with other people. And when you observe in a place where you're not attached, you'd be surprised what you can learn. And instead of always having some preconceived notion, or if someone says, well, how come the rock looks like that? Well, because science said, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's what they say. But if you actually really start to notice things, it might be completely different than what you were taught and somebody told you. And then if children, their educational system was made up of observation and noticing, then instead of book learning or being taught something by someone else, we tune into our own ability to perceive. And the thing with perception, we tend to be only able to perceive what we have learned about that or known about that particular location or situation. And then when some new idea comes, or maybe something, an awareness or knowledge that you never had before, now it shifts everything. For instance, say for instance you're in a challenging relationship in a sense, that maybe beautiful person that you're with, but there's certain little qualities they might have that maybe trigger you in some way to get upset or to react. Well, once you notice that person does that, and what triggers them is this and that, then what you can do is you know how to stay centered in those situations and know as that person just goes through that certain thing because that's their pattern, you see. They tend to do that. So the power of observation gives you the mastery, in a sense, over situations. And because you're there and you perceive. This is like children. My daughter Suzanne, former daughter, because she's left her body, is that at Christmas time, remember she had $5 for Christmas. That was her Christmas money. But she got everybody the exact perfect gift because she was an observer. Uncle Phil, my dad's brother, liked to drink beer, so she got him a beer can opener that was a nickel, 5 cents in those days. And she got everybody because she observed. And it's the same in gift giving. You know the right gift to give someone when you know their nature, what they like, and what they enjoy. And one of the secrets of love is that you give to the other for their pleasure, for their happiness, for their joy. And your intention is always for their well-being. And that's what true love is. And then you went through the power of observation, you notice yourself. You notice, why did I say that? What's going on with me? That's not me. How come I'm reacting over here? What triggered me this? What's going on with me? You see. And in that way, you start taking your powers back that maybe we've been taught to give everybody and everything else, and they'll tell us about it rather than our tuning into our wisdom. And that's another one. As we observe, too, that instead of analyzing, figuring, and thinking out and judging it, we're just watching, noticing. And then when you notice what's going on with you, instead of being upset, oh, you made me upset, or you did this to me, or that, we just say, what's going on with me? How come I'm doing this? We always get down to basically the basic root of all of it. And in that basic root is a misidentifying ourselves as this physical body. And so therefore everything we do then is about 5 sense gratification, try and please our senses, survive in the body, that sort of thing. When we're tuned into who we are, yes, we maintain the body because that is our temple of the living God in this reality. And yet we know who we are. And so we're not caught off balance by what's going on in the outer world. We're not letting that jerk us around. And that's what takes work to really own and be who you are, centered really in each moment of now. And by the power of observation, you see, and noticing patterns and how things operate, wow, now you have natural knowing. And when you have natural knowing, you start coming more into natural law, which means that, what is it, the law? That means our intention is always for the welfare of all living entities. We do not choose to cause harm to any animal or divine being or, any living entity, nor distress, nor to terrorize them in any way or to upset them or harm them or hurt them. That's not our nature. And the key is you must hold on to your nature and who you are. And because when you're there, all power is flowing through you beyond the material realm power. And also the knowledge and the witnessing of what's going on now. So when you observe, you're centered in wisdom and knowing, observation, you're in that bliss zone in a sense, because you're in the state of knowing and through observation. And then every moment is interesting and beautiful. And you're perceiving now even more as you're listening in nature and with others. And so everywhere you go, you are, what would you say? in your natural state of divine enthusiasm and inner peace and outer, what would you say, pure self-expression. So look at this, a nice little pond. Michael, our videographer, he gets these beautiful locations of everything. I love the moss, little creatures growing in the moss, you know, how the wood starts to break down, and how this looks like that, and that looks like this, and everything then becomes a grand adventure, and you're not jerked around by whomever and whatever is going on, and don't try and analyze them and figure them out and do the deal and stuff. Stick to the truth, come back to yourself as soon as you can, into the place of the witness. Good job.